Welcome back to another episode of the Even Your Dynasty Show. We are back with another minor league update on Tuesday, September 17th. It is the second to last weekly update that we will be doing for the 2024 season. As this last week, both San Jose and Richmond wrapped up their seasons after the Eugene Emeralds wrapped up their season last week. The Sacramento River Cats will have one more week next week that they'll be playing games, and then I'll probably do a full season update the following week after that, just talking about everyone. But this is the last or second to last weekly update that we're doing. Before we get started on the action, as always, if you do enjoy the content, please do like the video, subscribe to the channel. Last week, you guys were incredible. You got me up over 700 subscribers. I think we're sitting right around 710 or so at this, at the time of this recording. It's pretty awesome. We're on the road to 1,000, which my goal is to hit that by opening day 2025. So appreciate you guys. Hit that subscribe button, hit the bell for notifications. It'll send you notifications when we go live, when we drop new videos, all kinds of stuff. And yeah, we got a lot of plans coming up. We got pretty exciting video I'm going to try and put out next week at some point when we get it recorded, but I'm not going to give out any spoilers on what that might be yet. So stay tuned on that one. Like I said, click that bell so you're notified. Or also follow me on X. I do mention usually when we're going to go live and things like that there as well. But starting off with the action, the Sacramento River Cats played Round Rock. They went 3-3. They are now 77-67 on the season. Bryce Eldridge got the promotion up to Sacramento, played 2 games in Sacramento, played the first 3 games of the week last week in Richmond. So his numbers are including his time in Richmond, including the triple you're going to see him hit. But he went 6 for 26 with a triple, a double, 2 walks, and 6 strikeouts. Now, the double, I will say, was a little generously scored. Outfielder was making a running play on it, and it actually hit off his glove, and he dropped it. But you hit the ball hard, you put one up over to the warning track almost, good things can happen on those because he's also been robbed of plenty of hits where he's hit them really hard and it just found mids. So, but again, continues to not look overwhelmed. And it kind of, the question got brought up, could we see him in San Francisco in 2024, like before the season ends? Because Sacramento's season's going to end and there's going to be 6 regular season games left for San Francisco. Zaidi did shoot that one down. They are planning to send him over to the Fall League. They just wanted to get him an extra week's worth of games since Sacramento plays this coming week or this week, and Richmond's season ended on Sunday. So I agree with him there. I will say it doesn't make sense at all to bring him up because the one thing is you can potentially burn an option year, although there are some weird rules where for players that have accrued less than 5 full seasons between the minors and majors, could potentially get a 4th option year. Kudos to Ricky for that knowledge on that one. Ricky that jumps on the channel with us. So, I still think it would have been risky. Now it does open up it does open the door for him to potentially be the opening day 2025 first baseman, which I thought there was no chance of that. And I do think there's a chance now. It's small. I still don't think he's I think they're going to make a move for a first baseman, even if it's a stopgap, even if it's a Christian Walker, Paul Goldschmidt for a year, something along those lines, or rolling with the platoon. Maybe they go hand Encarnacion a first baseman's mitt and platoon him with Wade, or, whatever the case may be. But I do think he's going to get a major league invite in spring training. He's going to be with the big league camp. They're going to probably have the goal to keep him there as long as possible, especially if his performance dictates that. And I could see a scenario where he just takes a job because he frankly has not looked overwhelmed at the upper levels. His approach is elite. His power is elite. It's just going to be development, and it could take some time. He might just be one of those special players that's actually, ready to face major league pitching at 20 years old. It just might be the case with him. And it's rare to see those guys, but maybe the Giants have one. We'll see. So time will tell there. Number 3 prospect, Carson Wisenhunt, 3 2/3 innings pitched, 3 earned runs, 6 hits, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts through 87 pitches, 50 of them for strikes. story of his season. He's kind of struggling to put guys away. Changeup's still elite. Other two pitches aren't. We'll see if he can keep, if he continues developing, but this season, I'm sure has been a disappointment for him. I know a lot of Giants fans, and myself included, that were super high on him coming into the season. I still am high on him as a player. I think that changeup is so good that he's going to be a good pitcher regardless, but I wonder what his ceiling might be unless he develops those other two pitches, because those in his command are what's holding him back currently. Number 13 prospect, Trevor McDonald, 5 innings pitched, 4 earned runs, 4 hits, a walk, 5 strikeouts, through 79 pitches, 48 for strikes. McDonald continues to be pretty efficient overall, but he did get knocked around a little bit in this outing. His last couple have been a little rough, but I still like what I've seen overall out of him. I think he's going to end up in the pen. Doesn't mean he can't potentially be a starter, but it does feel like the Giants' rotation is a little crowded right now, and especially with a guy like Landon Roop showing what he has as a potential starting pitching option next season, or maybe they'll use him in a bulk role and then he'll be the spot starter in case they need someone. I feel like McDonald's path to the Giants roster is going to be on the pen, where he could be really effective. Number 16 prospect, Wade Meckler, went 4 for 18, a double, 6 walks, and 4 strikeouts. He's a back control guy, and it was good to see he didn't have a great week as far as the hits go and the average goes, but he still drew 6 walks. I'd love to see him steal some bags. He has the speed. It was something he worked on a lot last season, and then he just hasn't been running that much this season. So I think that's something that could increase his value if he can bring the speed element to the game, but he hasn't really been using his legs that much. Number 24 prospect, Carson Seymour, 6 innings pitched, 2 earned runs, 4 hits, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts, 80 pitches, 51 for strikes. He's been pretty solid overall for about the last month plus of the season. He, dare I say, might be performing like their best pitcher in AAA right now. For the last, like I said, about 6 weeks or so. He's been really solid and pretty steady and consistent. Casey Schmidt is back down in Sacramento. He went 4 for 18, 2 doubles, 5 walks, which is nice to see, 2 strikeouts and a stolen base. We all know the story with Schmidt. It's going to be plate discipline. Until that can translate to the majors, he's going to continue to struggle in the majors, but he keeps showing signs that he can do it in AAA. It's been improving there. At some point, though, it needs to translate, or he's going to forever be kind of a 4A player. So I'm hoping to see the continued development there, but time will tell. Blake Sabol, he's finishing the season strong. Good to see out of him. He's had a pretty rough season at the plate, in particular. 7 for 18, 2 doubles, 3 walks, and 7 strikeouts. The strikeouts are a little higher than you would want, but overall, good solid week. He's starting to swing the bat a little better the last few weeks and finishing on a high note. Hunter Bishop went 8 for 24 with a double, a walk, and only 3 strikeouts. His last 3 weeks, looking back at this, his last 3 weeks have been really impressive. He's hitting well over 300 his last 3 weeks. He was in a very prolonged slump for a while, and really in a bad spot offensively. And his average has gone up like 36 points in the last 3 weeks. It's been really good to see him get it turned around. David VR, 4 for 21, a home run, 3 walks, 9 strikeouts. Hopefully he can have another good week next week. This week was a little rough for him. He had been doing pretty well the last couple of weeks. I still think ultimately he's going to end up gone after this season. Either they're going to trade him in the offseason or in the spring training time frame. He's out of minor league options next season. So I think it would not shock me, to say the least, if he goes somewhere else and does really well. It's time, unfortunately, with him. Moving on over to Richmond, they went 2-4 versus Altoona in their last week of the season. They finished the season at 64-74. Number 15 prospect, Diego Velasquez. He went 7 for 16, 2 doubles, 5 walks, 3 strikeouts. He finished his double A portion of the season here. He finished hitting .313 in Double-A. Now the OPS was, I think, only .768. It's not anything that's gonna, pop off the screen by any means, but it is a very difficult league, the Eastern League, and the fact that he just flat out hits, and he's really good defensively, switch hitter, really good from both sides of the plate, and I love his approach. He's finishing the season here with over 20 doubles and over 20 stolen bases, and he's got just a little bit of pop, enough to just kind of occasionally get it over someone's head, but you get a lot of singles, but unlike a guy like Meckler, where I've really harped on the defense, and I don't want to say I overlook his hit tool. I appreciate his hit tool, but I feel like he's, being a corner outfielder, you can't be kind of a slap hitter. Velasquez is a middle infielder. If you can tell me that Diego Velasquez is going to play above average defense, hit near, 280, 290, maybe better, fingers crossed, and then maybe swipe you 20 bags, like that's ideal for a second baseman. So I think he's the most underrated prospect in the Giants system. Even when they did the reshuffle, he only was up to number 15. I honestly don't think there's 10 better prospects in their system. I think he'd be like 8 if I was doing my own list of where I would rank guys. But yeah, it's just the lack of, big power tools and things like that kind of drag his ranking down ultimately. But he's a guy that I think is going to be a really good major league player at some point. Just a solid presence. Number 19 prospect, Jack Choate. He pitched in 2 games. The first outing was much better than the second, went 5 innings, 2 earned runs, 5 hits, 5 strikeouts. Second one, 4 1/3, 4 hits, 4 1/3 innings, 3 earned runs, 4 hits, a walk, 6 strikeouts. First one, he just pitched around trouble. I shouldn't say it was much better, but it was definitely a more efficient outing and a little, little cleaner. Number 17 prospect, Trenton Harris, made his debut up in Double-A, pitched in 2 games. The first outing was a little, pitched around some trouble. One inning, gave up 2 earned runs, a hit, a walk, a strikeout. The second outing, he pitched in 2 clean innings. No, just nothing all across the stat lines there, but pitched 2 clean innings. So again, I've said it a few times. I think he's going to end up in the Giants bullpen at some point next season. I don't think it'll be right out the gate. He's only obviously pitched in 2 games in Double-A, but I do think eventually we're going to see him work his way up next season to the Giants bullpen. Really good stuff. Victor Barracoto went 4 for 18, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. Jairo Pomares went 3 for 15 with 2 doubles, 3 walks, and 3 strikeouts. And then last but not least, Will Bednar pitched in 2 games, 2 innings pitched, an earned run, a hit, a walk, and a strikeout. And then moving on over to San Jose, they lost their playoff series versus Modesto in 2 games. It was a best of 3. They lost the first 2 games, so they were out. But number 7 prospect, Walker Martin, went 1 for 7 with a home run, a walk, and 4 strikeouts. Strikeouts continue to be an issue, but the power, he's been showing it a little bit in San Jose, especially recently. Last couple of weeks, he hit 3 home runs. So hit the home run in the second game. It was good to see him just finish the season on a really good game. Number 20 prospect, Robert Hipwell, went 1 for 6 with 2 walks and 3 strikeouts. Number 21 prospect, Jacob Christian, went 1 for 8 with a double, a walk, and 3 strikeouts. He was their 5th round pick, for those that aren't aware, in this last draft. Number 26 prospect, Bo Davidson, went 3 for 8 with a strikeout in this series. Number 28 prospect, Josh Bostic, he pitched right after Jordan Hicks did in a game. In their first playoff game, he went 4 1/3 innings, 2 earned runs, 3 hits, 2 walks, and 4 strikeouts. You'll notice with some of these bats, it was a pretty rough week offensively for almost every bat in the system in San Jose. But Lisbel Diaz went 0 for 8 with a walk and 2 strikeouts in the series. And then Jeremiah Jenkins, he had a nice little series, 2 for 6. 2 for 6 with a triple, a walk, and 2 strikeouts. And then Xander Darby went 1 for 8, hit a home run, walked, and struck out 4 times in the series. So that is it. Like I said, that wraps it up for Richmond and San Jose. We are down to just Sacramento for next week. It'll be a very short video next week, more than likely. Hopefully we get some good highlights out of some of the guys over there that I'll be able to, post on the video. But like I said, it's going to be a very short one. And then the following week, we'll probably do a nice full season wrap up for all of the minors. We'll kind of give how all the top prospects did, what their numbers looked like, what levels they started, finished, whatever. We'll run through them top to bottom. Maybe I'll try and see if I can get Ricky to come join me for that one, because he's got a lot of great minor league knowledge. So catch me tomorrow on NorCal Sports Network. I am planning to do the post-game show with Dan over there. And then I don't know yet if the live will be either Thursday or Friday this week. I still got to work it out with Caveman Dan and Ricky, what works better for them timing wise. And then that'll probably wrap it up for this week at that point. So appreciate the support, everyone. Go Giants, and hopefully they can finish the season on a strong note. And we'll catch you next time.